This is Tom Fox. I'd like to welcome you to the newest addition to the Compliance Podcast Network, the Compliance Tip of the Day. This is the podcast where you bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. Join us as we explore the latest trends from the Department of Justice, share some best practices, demystify complex compliance issues to help keep your organization doing business ethically and in compliance, and at the end of the day, more profitably. Tune in daily for your dose of compliance wisdom. Let's make compliance a little less daunting, one tip at a time. Now a word from the sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, Ethico.
In compliance, the value of anonymous reporting is undeniable. But with Ethico, anonymity doesn't mean a loss of connection. Our blinded, two-way communication fosters an environment of trust and confidentiality, encouraging open and honest dialogue. It's not just about receiving reports. It's about understanding the story behind each one, creating a culture of integrity and respect. Transform your approach to anonymous reporting with Ethico. Begin your journey at ethico.com/CPN, where you can book a demo, access an exclusive white paper by Tom Fox titled The ROI of Compliance, and utilize our free ROI calculator.
Today we begin a short two-part series on getting culture right. There are 10 steps in a formula generated by an article in MIT Sloan Management Review entitled 10 Things to Get Your Corporate Culture Needs to Get Right. We're going to go over the first 5 today. Tomorrow we'll take up the second 5. Number 1, employees feel respected. Employees should be treated with consideration, courtesy, and dignity, and their perspective should be taken seriously. This is the single best predictor of a company's culture score, and respect is nearly 8 times as important as a typical feature of other issues. Number 2, supportive leaders. Leaders must help employees to do work, respond to requests, and accommodate employees' needs, offer encouragement, and have their backs. This ties into the respect finding, but also ties into a speak-up culture and trust within an organization. Number 3, leaders live the core values. Leaders' actions are consistent within the organization's values. While regulators focus on these issues, employees need to see leaders not simply talking the talk, but actually walking the walk. Employees expect the leaders to live core values. Toxic managers. Leaders create a poisonous work environment, and this can lead to extremely negative implications in the workforce. Nothing can kill culture faster than a toxic manager. From the compliance perspective, this can be a disaster, as toxic employees can clearly lead to policy violations. Number 5, unethical behavior. Managers and employees who lack integrity and act in unethical manners can portend disaster for an organization. Integrity is the cornerstone of most organizations' official culture, and identifying toxic leaders and digging in to understand the context of their behavior and rooting out those who may either engage in that behavior or follow those employees is critical for not only your compliance program, but your corporate culture and your values going forward. So if you pair toxicity in the workplace with unethical behavior, you obviously have the worst of all worlds. I hope you'll join me tomorrow where we take up the second 5 to getting culture right. Thanks so much for listening today, and I look forward to visiting with you on the second 5 tomorrow. As you know, this month's sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, including this podcast, is Ethico. Have you ever wondered about the ROI of your compliance program or had concerns with presenting budget proposals to your CFO? Well, I partnered with Ethico to write a white paper on the ROI of compliance and how you can think through compliance as an investment strategy. Ethico has put together a ROI calculator for you. Check them out on the website. This is Tom Fox again. This new podcast, Compliance Tip of the Day, will appear daily. And frankly, it's one of the most requested topics for a podcast that I get on a regular basis. It's going to be short and sweet with one tip with some takeaways that you can utilize to implement into your compliance program. If you've got a question that you would like a tip on, please submit them through our website, and we will use them in an upcoming episode. The compliance tip of the day is a production of the award-winning Compliance Podcast Network.